All right, so this is Sarah Janes doing an ACA oral history interview with John Lund on Saturday, the 4th of June, 2011 at the Delta Chelsea. All right, so can you tell me how or why you became an archivist?
How or why I became an archivist? I was in Korea and I was making decisions about what I wanted to do next. So my choice was either to do a PhD or I looked at the MAS program at UBC. Actually, reality is I applied for both PhD and MAS, but what I wanted to do in the PhD required it was interdisciplinary, so they required actually a 26-page paper even before I got there. And then they wanted some changes, and I was in Korea, and I was like, okay, I have this many English books right now to work with. So I went with the MAS. But I have a background in history and stuff, and I've worked in archives since my undergrad, since third year. So I've been immersed in archives for a really long time.
Okay, and how and when did you get involved with the ACA?
It's basically I joined the ACA as soon as I got my first position at the Provincial Archives of Alberta right after graduation in 2005 in August. So I've just been to 3 conferences and stuff. Initially, the first conference I went to, I actually taught a workshop, basically that workshop I did it twice because I got so booked, and I did a paper on that conference as well. So my initial was I totally jumped in, and then actually volunteering with the ACA I started actually this 2010 when I moved to Ottawa.
And what do you do as a volunteer?
I started on the membership committee, just on the committee, and then recently I became the chair in February because we had an interim chair, the previous chair left the position, so I've just taken over.
Right, and what sort of challenges or what sort of things are you working on in terms of membership?
Basically, for example, right now our numbers were a bit down from 2010, and so we reinvigorated the process in the fall, and so we've been pushing a number of campaigns, promotions through RCanL and through emailing stuff, so designing some poster campaigns and stuff, putting those in the bulletin, getting the word out to people to join. This year is the first year that the first round of e-students that have an electronic membership for 3 years. This is the first group to finally end. So we've had to do a send out to them, and you do mail out to lapsed members in 2008 through to 2010 as well. Encourage you to come and join us, promote the new stuff like the new membership part of the website that's all Web 2.0. We get to talk to everybody. Come on, join us. And then there's the other part is the mentorship program. And so one of the members of the committee is assigned, has taken the role of coordinator for that. Another thing that we have to reinvigorate because we've only got, from last year we only had 5 mentees who wanted mentors. So we want to get back to the students and get that process reinvigorated again.
Did you do the mentorship program?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes, I did actually. I did, but I wasn't very. I tend to do things on my own. So I typed in and asked maybe a couple of questions, but I really didn't take. I probably didn't take out of it what I could have. So I just sort of go do my thing.
All right, So, are there any people who influenced you in your education or in your career so far?
Vern Harris. I guess not necessarily locally, but more out of the readings and stuff like Joanne Sassoon in Australia, Vern Harris. Through the LES program, I really got a lot of with Terry Eastwood. Terry Eastwood was my supervisor. So, I think my influences aren't necessarily through archives. I tend to be someone who's very interdisciplinary, reading from all sorts of different directions and stuff. So, so those influences are kind of spread out differently. My influences could be what I actually get out of from a science fiction writer might surprise me about something, make me think about something interesting in archives, like Murakami, the Japanese novelist. His hard-boiled detective Wonderland novel. I got the title totally right. Where he has an idea, an interesting idea of library and within the mind, and it's this library that's full of the skulls of unicorns, and these hold the memories of individuals. So I kind of very Tomo meta stuff.
Alright, so how do you see archives changing in the current day, whether that's due to technology or anything else that's going on? What do you see?
Well, on the ground reality is that I've worked in 3 different archives. I've volunteered in a couple. Actually, I guess I've worked in 4 archives and volunteered in 1. And I see the archives struggling with the day-to-day. I don't see necessarily a lot of forward thinking because they're too busy trying to deal with just getting what they have organized. And it doesn't necessarily meet the expectations of theory and best practice because there's so many complications in the way, and there's this huge internal struggle for getting just like records management, IT, and archives to work together on the same page and to understand one another. They don't understand one another, and they need to understand one another. Like for example, the presentation that Laura Miller did, I thought it's a total moonshot to get us to work on to create. I think it would be great if we could have regional little nodes where these would take care of all the audio video material that others can't do on their own or digital, but you can't get people in-house to cooperate. I'm like, good luck. At the same time, in the digital world, we have to change, or we are going to be left behind, and we will simply be just another discarded newspaper that nobody cares about anymore. Because the fact is where people are going for their information is the web, and if we're not there, we don't exist. It's as simple as that. And so we have to get on board with developing our web portals and stuff and making the web 2.0. And we have to make it so that people aren't just coming to us to get information. They are creating their own information. So that when they see a photo online, historical photo, and they may have information about that they can tag that photo and say, oh, I know what this is of, and this is who's here, here, and here. And they may not be correct, but then somebody else can come along and fix it. We have to think of wiki mentality. We are no longer can protect our photos from from mistakes. We have to allow for mistakes and corrections to happen, because you got to get, that is what the new generations are used to. They're used to being involved in the process, not just external to the process.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about archives, your career, the ACA conference?
Join the ACA. Not that I think. I mean, I think it's been really good. I think one thing to think about is, like, there's going to be struggles in the next couple of years with money and stuff. Those opportunities aren't there as they were a couple of years ago to get a job right away. And I'm hearing things like that the numbers actually of students going into the various programs is actually increasing. That's probably a concern, because I don't know if the physicians are out there for that increase. But at the same time, you have to look at whether or not, as a professional, whether you have the need personally to stay put where you are to find a position there, or do you have the flexibility to go find a job? And I can tell you that fortunately I've had the flexibility, so it's been, I've been able to move quickly, and if I've been in a position where it wasn't good, I've just been moving up, and that's helped, that flexibility. So.
Okay, because you worked in Alberta and you're working in Ottawa now, and there's a few other...
Yeah, I've worked in the Provincial Archives of Alberta, I've worked at the City of Red Deer, and I'm now at the City of Ottawa. When I was in my program, I volunteered at West Vancouver Archives, and then I worked at the Museum of Anthropology Archives. That was part-time. So it gives you an interesting perspective to be able to get out and see how different archives are operating. What are the similarities and dissimilarities, and some things will be surprising. There'll be major core issues at a smaller archives like Red Deer, and there's similar issues at a much larger archives like the City of Ottawa.
All right. Well, if you haven't got anything else, then thanks very much for participating.